Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel to you all. I'm glad you are here. This is another art journal flip through. And this is just the cover. This is all paper clay and from Stamperia. The cardboard, so nothing special there. On the inside, this is the cover. I had to open the spine because it was getting too big, so I opened the spine and I've redone it. These are Dina Wiggly stamps. Then the first page is vintage. It's just some cutouts from scrapbook paper, the ladies, and some paper underneath. And I've put in some of the, it's with the glitter inside from Cadence, and it's just like structure paste. So it's black structure paste with glitters inside, and then in the middle is just gesso. And the next one, structure paste, and this is a stamp. I've colored it in. I've sprayed the back on the structure paste. And then this is from a rice paper, a leftover from a rice paper, then a little stamping. Background is with structure paste and inks that I've sprayed. Then I just took from scrapbook paper collage and put it. This one is a stamp and a dice that I colored in. Basically the same here, only this one is with leftover papers that I ripped up and adhere to the back. Then I went with, it's ink, yeah, with ink in, and then with gesso to bring it back to the background. Then this one I just it's a copy, yeah. It's a paper copy from a magazine, I guess. Crackle paste, black crackle paste in the back, only a little bit. Then some stickers. Yeah, some stickers with structure paste, golden structure paste. I put the words, cut it out, and then I adhered it. This was just a tryout with new materials, new stencils, and new colors, bright colors, all the bright colors. So, and it's paint. I think this is Diane Rively, yeah, Diane Rively's paints, and I think this one is a stencil from Pronti Crafts. I put a napkin on the back and structure paste on top. Then here I colored it with mousse. And these are cutouts from printing paper. This was a 7-day challenge. Very messy, but also very grungy. I like it. So I'm seeing washi tape, stenciling, ropes. This is paper. This is also rope, different kind of paints. Then a quote and the paper dolls from Tim Holtz. This is a napkin, Santa Claus. This is a napkin, and from the napkin I also cut out the stars. The background is with paint and gesso, and I don't know how this is called. It's to make snow. Let me see. Effect snow. So it's effect snow. All these on the top and the bottom. Then stamping again. And some paper, washi paper that I made myself with painter's tape. Then ink. First I put the ink. I closed it like we did on school. I just closed it, I let it dry. Then I put my tape and I adhered the man, colored him in, and the quote. This lady is from a calendar that I cut out. I liked it a lot. So the background was there already. It was left over with stamping and oh, it's all stamping. Okay, and a little washi. Yeah, stamping and a little washi tape and a little bit colors with paint, and then I adhere the lady and the text. So these are stamps from Diane Weekly, and the bright colors from Diane also, I think. Because this is a cut out, I made it a little bit so you can just, that it looks like it is one page. All with the bright paints and the stamps and the quotes. Then I did a little bit of writing on the side of the man. And this is actually one of the rice papers of her that I cut out. Then in the middle it was the awareness of breast cancer, so I made this one. So I obviously made this one first and then this one around it. This one is papers from either Tim Holtz, no, or Stamperia. I think Stamperia Christmas. I use stamps that I cut out. Then the paper, I teared it and I adhered it, as you can see here. It's going here. Then I used from Nuvo the sprays with the glitter inside. And this is structure paste all. And then the snow effect from the one I showed you just now. This was from a lady, from a swap that she sent me, and for a long time it had been sitting on my desk and I didn't know what to make with it. Then one day I just had this very messy background, and I used some of my jelly prints under, as you can see here and here and here and probably under here somewhere. And it also sat in my journal for I think a half a year, because I didn't know what to do with it because it was so messy, all the colors through each other. So when I was going through my journal and going through the papers I was having, I saw this one and it was perfect for it. So I also put a quote, it's from a stamp, and then I all put it together. Most of it is by Louise Withers, I think. Her rice paper. The leftover from the rice paper, I think. And I put paint over it. And I wrote a quote. And I used some stenciling. And I think these stencils are also from Louise Withers. The background is with oxide inks, and then I used, let me see what it's called, texture paste, transparent texture paste. It's a transparent texture paste, and I put it on top of the oxide inks. Then I used a whole lot of stickers, papers. This is from a cutout. This is washi tape, stenciling, and stamps. These are the ladies. Again, I first stamped them, then I cut them out, then I colored them. And then I wrote the quote, "Each time woman stands up for herself, without knowing it, possibly stands up or claiming it, she stands up for all women." So that's the quote. The background is just paint with a paint roller. Same thing with a paint roller, and because it was busy already, and two colors, because I just, the paint roller, when I was doing my playing with my jelly plate, the paint roller, I went over it in my journal instead of an extra paper, because my journal was lying closed. And then I used, this is a Pronti stencil. Yeah, just simple, because the background was busy already. Not because it has many colors, but because of the paint roller. So that was it. This one is also a napkin. And doilies, so I use the doilies, I use the napkins, and these are stamps, the text is stamps, and I just painted 3 colors, blue, bluish, greenish, and green. under. And that's all I did. This one is a foam stamp from Julia, I think. Yeah. And the stamp at the back also. It was, I used the stencil somewhere else, and then I just took my journal and I put the stencil with the ink on top. I put it inside, then I left it for a while. Then I used the quotes. I cut out all the stamps, I colored them. It's Julia Woning. She's a Dutch lady. These ones is with oxide inks. And I cut it out on the back. That's what I did. And the back of the tag, you can see through here. So if I take the tag out, then it's just the oxide inks with the stenciling. And the stencil is also from Julia Woning, Bronte, I think. She was done with Bronte. These ones are which I was able to design together with Bronte and another lady, I think Patricia. The big flower is a foam stamp, a big foam stamp, and I've used some stenciling, and this is with embossing powder on black paper, and then I also used our quotes. So then I just cut. I took I think I have it here, yeah, from Ranger, not this one. I took this one, yeah, so from Dylusions. Yes, from Dylusions. I used the the plate. I put it here, so, and then I cut it in the size that I needed. And after, of course, I used all the oxide inks, and then I used also the same stamp for this side, and I used our quotes. And now this one is all with stenciling and ink on the background, ink that I put, and I closed it, then waited for it to dry. Then I used I don't know from which one, I'm guessing it is from Stamperia, the rice paper, and this I printed out and put it together because they are two separate printouts on the same. It was a freebie. Okay, the background was with the new paints that I bought, the bright paints. Then I took some book paper and Then I used ink and let it drip. Okay, this was in a group and okay, this was in a group and they turn out the turn the inspiration cards. So then you have to do what the inspiration cards say. So that's what I did. This is how this one came along. These are the printouts, also from Diane. Nee, from Diane. Diane Rivley. And these are quotes, stickers. This is from the stenciling and the stamping from Art by Marleen. And I just, okay, I put ink on the stencil. Then I turn it around and I put it on top of this paper. And that is how the ink came on it. And then I stamped with those stamps from a different set. And I also stamp the butterfly. So everything that has been used here is from Art by Marleen. This is Dina Weekly Rice paper. It's in a pack. And I've used, I think this, okay, this was the paint, little bit of leftovers in the bottles that I've used. So I made just stripes like this over the whole page. Then this is a Pronti stencil and I just doodled, and then I adhered the rice paper and I colored it in with paint. This is leftover paper from the scrap paper from Stamperia. And then these ones are the chipboards from Stamperina. And I used quote. This one is rice paper. Is a excuse me. It's rice paper. Then sorry, I needed to take a sip. Then I doodled on top and I used Stabilo All for the lady. That's all I did. Then this is from Marami Small Art. The free digi pages, I think, from Buy Me a Coffee. I've used the paper, of course. I cut it out. I also used her stencils. She has very beautiful stencils. And I stamped, I don't know if this is, I think is her stamp. Yeah, it's not a stencil, it's her stamps. And then I used a black pen to go over it again to make the text stand out. And the stenciling with structure paste. These are stamps and paints. from Diane Rively and her stencils. So I just painted the background black. I used the shimmer paints, and I cut everything out from her paper pack. I think this is from the paper pack. This is stamping. Just cut it out and left it because the shimmer background is enough already. I think this is also from Marame, and I used oxide inks. So oxide inks on the background, then Marame Small Art, the DG print, and Diane Rively's the block. This block from Ranger. This one is again my stencils and my foam stamp that I helped design for Pronti. And on the back it's oxide, yeah, oxide inks. And then on the paper, or did I do it directly? No, I stamped directly on the page. Then I used embossing powder and set it with the heat gun, and then I went back in with a different color of oxide ink to get this effect. And then we used I used our quotes. This one is the stencils and the stamp. Nee, the stencils. And also a stencil, same stencil. I'm an artist, and the text. This one is from Ours, and the background is with oxide inks, and then I splattered on top. The stencil on the background is with oxide ink, and again with the stencil I helped design. And this is a tissue paper. This is a print out. Yeah, this is a print out and text. So nothing special really. Here again, trying out my stencils. This time I put it on a rice paper and then I stenciled. Then I tore it up and I adhered it on the page. Use the stencil with colored paste, texture paste, and this one was from the stamp. I just cut out one of the inside, like here, instead of all the way. I stamped it and started cutting as from here, so a smaller one, and then doubled it and pasted it. So this one is also from Ponty Crafts, a stencil that I've used. The background is with gesso. I first adhered printed paper. I adhered printed paper and then the transparent texture paste from Pronti, Dutch Dubadoo, sorry. Then the stencil from Pronti Craft, I drew the seahorses and I colored them in and then I cut them out. and I use the text. Oops. This one was on a calendar and somebody gave it to me. The paste is crackle paste and it was the last bit, so I put it through a text stencil that had numbers and letters, and then I cut out the animal. On the back is the paper from my release for Pronti crafts that I've used, and then I used oxide inks. This is also a stencil from Pronti crafts, and the background also is different stencils from Pronti crafts. I first gessoed the whole page, then I went over it with the stenciling. I used a Posca to draw in the leaves. I used different colors on the stencil. Top of the stencil, I dabbed it. It's ink, and then I cut it out and adhered it. This was Cadence Crackle. It's not a paste, it's a liquid. Let me see. Crackle glaze. So you first put your dark. It's you don't need anything else, just only this one. You first adhere the dark paint on the background, and then you put the crackle glaze on top of it. When it's dry, then you put the light one and you get this crackle. It was the first time I've used it, so I needed to try it out. So I just did the whole page. You can see some of the parts I put a lot, some of the parts I put a little. And then I used the stencil from Dina Weekly on top, and the text also is from a stencil from Dina Weekly. And then I drew some hearts to it. That's all I did. The text is with Posca pens. This was also in a group where we did 7 days, every day one no, it is on 1 day. We've got 15. Yeah, we got 15 here. So you just do what the cards say, the cards that she pulled on the group. Then we do what the cards say, and it was 15. We had to do 15. So that's what I did. The background, it was paper. I didn't like the paper, so I put stenciling with black on top. First the colors, the bright colors under, then stenciling with black on top, and the flowers from Pronti. This one is just drawing. I can see what I did is just leftover paints and everything. When I'm busy, I just kept it on the page, and afterwards I just drew over it with the Posca and I left it like this. This one is with painted black, and I think I have a video with this one. Some of them inside they have video, other ones they don't, but these are cutouts from Tim Holtz dies. I painted black on the background, and I use these things from Dutch Troubadour. These ones, pearl pens. They are pearl pens, so different colors that I've used. But first I had here the clock with different kind of papers, and I've used a stencil on the back with glitter paste from Cadence, and then I cut out all these die cuts from the gears, and the letters are chipboard, tin chipboard. This one is was a trial, so I've used different colors for the background. Then I didn't know what to do because they were new colors. So what I've done was, these are stamps that I've used. These are printouts, also stamps cut out, stamps, the trees are stamps, the grass and the flowers are stamps, and then I've used wood grain stamp on a paper that I painted first, then I put the wood grain on top, I stamped it on top, and then I cut out the fence. And I cut out everything separately, and then I adhered it so it looks like a fence. This one is the last one in my book. This one is also a napkin. The background is paints. I used lots of paints. I know there's a video, I think, with this one on my channel. I used lots of blues because I like blue colors. And then the napkin on top. I've used structure paste, and I used the transparent one, and then I used the gold paint. And these ones were cutouts from a magazine, these ones from a magazine, and this one was a sticker. Then the back I didn't do anything because the book is already big enough. So that was a flip through from 19, 20 and 21, 22. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.